Well, it's an on-the-road edition of Extra Rounds here on UFC Fight Pass. I'm TJ DeSantis along with Deron Williams, the two-time Olympic gold medalist, three-time NBA All-Star, and just a stud on the hardwood. Kind enough to give me a few moments, kind of, make the worlds of basketball and mixed martial arts come together. You know this better than anybody, Deron. You got Fortis MMA down there. I think about the decision to open a gym is one that a lot of people live to regret, but Fortis has been going for a while. Have you learned your lesson yet, or is this a huge success?
It ain't got nothing to do with me. That's all safe Saud. That was his vision. I just came along for the ride. And no, I mean, the gym is doing great. Not only the fighters that we've been able to build up and produce, and but just the gym itself. People love being there, love being a part of the culture there, and it's been a kind of a fun passion project for me.
I think for a lot of people, especially, fighters, it's a sort of love-hate relationship, but even when they're not necessarily in camp, they find themselves making their way to the gym. It's like this sort of structured experience, similar to what I assume, the NBA was like for you. Do you find yourself in the gym as an escape?
Now,
Yeah.
in basketball gym?
No, 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 no. In Fortis, do you ever
Oh,
get
okay.
in
I was
there?
about to spit. 'Cause there's no more of that.
Right, you're right.
There's
No,
no
no,
more
I'm saying
there's
like
no more basketball.
yeah, do you find yourself like going to the gym at Fortis and just like an escape from, the everyday life?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I haven't been going as much since my fight. Um, but yeah, it is a place, and a different type of training than basketball. Obviously, it's mentally taxing. Depending on what you're doing, it's great cardio, and so yeah, it is a little bit of escape, and something that's different from the norm.
Help me out here. What's the mindset like of a basketball player and an MMA fighter and a combat sports athlete? Because I feel like there's a lot of similarities between the two sports, but obviously one is a lot more in your face. You can maybe make a mistake running up and down the hardwood, but you can't really get away with it without having physical injury potentially to your body in fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's much similarities. One is the individual sport, one's a team sport. Uh One you play, the other you don't.
Right.
Um so yeah, I mean, like you said, there is no off nights in fighting. You see when people have off nights in fighting, they lose, and it can derail somebody's career. It could, change the course of their career. Basketball, man, we had 82 games to figure it out, and if I'm having an off night, I can pass that thing to my teammates. You don't get that option when they lock that cage. There's no, hey, hold on, sub, let this guy go in. I don't think I got it tonight. There's none of that. So, I have the utmost respect for fighters, especially mixed martial artists. The guys who get in that cage and lock that door, and it's a rough sport. It's a rough life.
What is your favorite aspect of MMA?
Um, I just love the art of it, man. I just love, seeing where the sport's grown. It's this new wave of fighters. I feel like, the old wave of fighters, when the UFC first, came about, it was guys that were either wrestlers going against jiu-jitsu guys, or going against, karate guys or kickboxers. And now these kids, man, they, from the moment they're born, when they're 4 or 5 years old, they're doing everything. They're already mixed martial artists at that age, and so it's just fun seeing the development, seeing these guys that really have no weaknesses in their game, no holes in their game. They can do everything, and it's my favorite sport to watch, hands down.
I'm curious, when you put yourself in the situation to explore mixed martial arts and combat sports, on the mat, it's a humbling experience. I'm sure the NBA and playing basketball at the highest level is also a humbling experience, but I'm going to be a different type of person to come back to the MMA mat over and over and over again. What was it like the first time you got on the mat and were with, someone that could clearly dominate you? Was it something that was hard for you to swallow? Did it intrigue you more? Like, what did that do for your mindset and outlook on the sport?
Well, man, I think it definitely intrigued me more. I'm the type of guy who I like to see myself get better, and it's one of those things where you put the time in, you put the work in, you're gonna get better. It's not like golf. I play golf, and you can practice, 20 hours in 1 week, and you might get worse. And so, yeah, I mean, it definitely was a humbling experience. I grew up, I wrestled. Wrestling was my first sport. Um, and so, I had a little bit of a background in wrestling, wrestled for 9 years, won 2 state championships as an 8 and a 12-year-old. And so I'd always loved, grappling and that thing. But then when I started transitioning to stand up, that was where I felt like I really got humbled.
Right.
Because getting punched in the face is different, something you definitely got to get used to. The first time you get popped in the nose and your eyes water, it makes you reconsider everything. And so, yeah, but to me, it was fun. It was a challenge and something I love to do.
On UFC Fight Pass, we just kicked off a few of our dates this year of wrestling meets. We're having some duels on Fight Pass. It's exciting, I think, for the sport of wrestling to get that shine on the largest platform in the world for combat sports digitally. It's interesting to hear you talk about wrestling being your first sport, because I feel like wrestling not only creates athletes, but it creates really durable, tested human beings, and in life you can apply that trade away from the wrestling mat and in other sports. Did you take anything from wrestling as a young kid and apply it towards your mindset of whether it be business or even following your career into the NBA?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like one thing, it makes you tough. It definitely makes you tough. I mean, I spent my first year and a half, pretty much my mom dragging me on the mat, crying before every match, me getting pinned and then going back out. But she wouldn't let me quit because she already paid for it and we didn't have money. So, I was I think I was 4, about to be 5 when I started. And so for some reason she asked me that next year if I wanted to come back, and I did. And about halfway through the season, something kind of clicked and changed in me. And, I definitely got meaner and tougher. And I feel like that definitely you know, I definitely used that in my basketball career as well. I was very competitive. I hated to lose, and I think wrestling kind of brought that out of me.
Yeah, it's amazing to hear how wrestling just follows people, even when you're not wrestling anymore. Just the mindset, the dedication and determination that it takes to be a wrestler, really at any level. If you're going to do it for a long period of time, I think you walk away still with those values, whether or not you were,
Yeah.
a Hodge Trophy winner or just someone that was barely making the team. Obviously, we hear about Fortis MMA all the time. Very successful gym. What about like the average person that's sitting at home right now? Can they roll through Dallas and get a workout? Do you have like an open mat, or is this for like mostly pros only?
No, no, we have membership. We're a fully functional gym. We have memberships with all type of classes for all skill levels. We have just kickboxing fit, MMA fit classes, which are all ran by our UFC guys. And so you go in there on any night and you'll see Uriah Hall or Steven Peterson or Ms. Brahima teaching class. And so those guys are in there all the time. They're working out with our members. They're training our members, in one-on-ones. And then yeah, we do have open mats on Sunday. So you can come in, and obviously our schedule's on our website, fortismma.com. So, check it out. If you're rolling through Dallas, come in there and give it a shot. If you live in Dallas, it's a great gym to join and, be a part of.
How rad is that? Because you think about, fantasy camps and stick and ball sports. Like, sure, you can pay to maybe
Yeah.
go for a retreat for a few days, but in MMA seems to be like the only sport where you can literally develop a friendship with the guy you see on Saturday night inside the octagon, and all of a sudden he might be your kickboxing coach the next week if you hit up the gym.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's like no sport I've seen because, for instance, basketball. We have our practice facility, that thing's locked down like Fort Knox. You're not nobody's just rolling into the practice facility and hey LeBron
Right.
James, can I come watch you work out? It doesn't work like that. But at the gym, our fighters are members, and then we have members who aren't fighters that are members, and so naturally they mesh together, and Like I said, our classes are taught by our guys, and so it's very unique, and a lot of gyms are just the same way as ours.
Anything else you want to tell the people to check out, Deron? Anything coming up for you?
Not really, man. I stay out of the limelight, stay out of the way,
There you
stay in
go.
my lane.
I mean, that's living the dream if I've ever heard it.
Yeah, yeah. That's how
Awesome,
to do
Deron.
it. It's the
Well,
best way to do it.
I appreciate the time, sir. Thank you very much, and
Yeah.
best of luck moving forward with Fortis. Like I said, one of the top gyms in the world, and if people are in the area and want to go check it out, they should do so.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.